Put your hands together for Topher Maurer. All right, this is it. This is me. I'm the last one. I'm tangled up. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, well, that was fun. Okay. All right, so I was going on a date. This was a few years ago. I was on a corner in Northwest Portland, and I don't want to say the name of the place. So I'm going to call it Sodium and Sucking Tube. I'll give you a hint if you're not sure. Apparently you can get Pinkleton's caramel cone there. It's a trendy ice cream place. It's sort of like Black Magic Donuts, but for ice cream. And my date hasn't come. She took a second. He was like, Black Magic Donuts? What? Voodoo Donuts. See, because voodoo is black magic. Okay. She's caught up. Okay. So my date hasn't come yet, and so I'm like, I'll get in line, because if you've never been to Sodium and Suction Tube, the line can be long. So I get into the line, and I wait, and I get to the front, and she's not there. I'm like, okay, that's not a problem. I'll just do this again. I get to the back of the line, and I wait, and she's not there. And about the 5th or 6th time through the line, people start to notice. They're like, who's this weirdo who just keeps going through the line? And I'm like trying to play it off, like, you know guys, I just really like wanting ice cream. This line is way better than whiskey ice cream. But about my 8th or 9th time through the line, my optimism is starting to wane. My phone goes off, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Because I didn't even care if she was standing me up anymore. I was just glad this was my last time through. And she says, I'm here, where are you? And I go, I'm in line, I'm right in front. And she says, what are you wearing? And I say, I'm wearing a Superman t-shirt, because I like to dress up for first dates. It is kind of my thing. And she says, I don't see you. And I say, what Sodium and Suction Tube are you at? And she says, Southeast. And I say, God damn it! Now, this was a few months after I had gotten divorced, and being divorced was not like the greatest time of my life, but I know that at the time I had consciously tried to make some healthy choices, and so I took up running. It seemed like such a good idea. Because, you know, they say that nothing can take your mind off of how miserable you feel, like even more misery. You know, plus, I would start dating at some point, and this way I could get sexy. So, you know, downloaded the Couch to 5K app. Now, the Couch to 5K app, if you're unfamiliar, is an app that you can download, and it takes you from a, you know, an out-of-shape blob, such as myself, and it turns you into a runner, and it does it by alternating running and walking. And so, you know, I got the app, and I'm running, and this lady says, okay, you can walk. And I'm like, oh, well, that was lovely. Thank you so much, Couch to 5K lady. I like you. And then she says, run. And I say, what, why? What did I do to you? And she says, walk. And I said, oh, thank God. Thank God. Oh, thank God. And she says, run. And I say, you fucking bitch! It was like somebody had taken the pain of running and added a layer of emotional torture. And by the 6th week, she refused to talk to me. I'm running, and I'm running, and I'm running. And finally I break down, and I'm like, where did you go, Couch to 5K lady? When do I get to walk? I miss you. I couldn't take it. I had to break up with her. I uninstalled the app and ghosted her on the spot. Did come to appreciate the Couch to 5K lady though, not just for being my rebound, but she prepared me for my sprint through Northwest Portland as I beat ass from my car so I could get to Southeast Sodium and Suction Tube. And I get there and I see my date and she's standing against the wall and she's gorgeous, and I was dumbstruck, and I mean literally struck dumb, because that's my only explanation for my behavior for the rest of the night, because I lost my fucking mind. We go through the line and she gets a taste and she asks if I want a taste, and what she meant was, would I like an employee to provide me with a sample? What she did not mean was, would I like to share her spoon? She asked me what I did, and I worked for 911, and I babbled for an hour about 911. Nobody gives that much of a fuck about 911. Everybody alive has got 3 questions about 911. Yes, it can be stressful. Yes, sometimes we get funny calls. Here are some examples. That is it. That is the extent of everybody's knowledge of 911, or everybody's interest in 911. There I was babbling about locations and phase 2 cell phones. Why? And if you don't know what a phase 2 cell phone was, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. It's not important. And then I made the worst first date mistake. I started talking about our future. Right? Even I saw the red flag. But my mouth just kept on talking, and inside I was like, shut up, shut up, shut up! But I couldn't stop. I had started and I was just off. And finally the date ended and I was walking to my car and I go, you know, she's driving home going, that guy is fucking strange. I hope they got smarter people than that at 911, because this city is in trouble. But she texted me later that night and she said she had a nice night, and I was looking at my phone. Is this for me? Maybe she went on 2 dates tonight and texted the wrong guy. But it was for me. Somehow or other, I had made it past the first date hurdle, which is, I will say, an interesting analogy, because it's not like I gracefully leaped over the hurdle. I sort of burst through it like the Hulk. Toph not know how to act on dates. Toph been out of game long time. Toph rely on good looks. Toph in big trouble. And so we started dating, and it wasn't long before I actually had another obstacle to get by. So, fellas, you're probably with me, like when you're a teenager and you're dating a girl, like the scariest thing is meeting her dad. You're going to her house and you're like, oh, is he gonna have a gun? I better know what my intentions are. What are my intentions? What are intentions? Well, I discovered something worse than meeting the dad. It is meeting the twin teenage girls. It's fucking terrifying. And you're on your own. You can't just Google, what do teenage girls like? Not without a visit from the FBI. So I had to be myself, which is the worst. No one should be forced to be their self. I didn't know what to say to teenage girls when I was a teenager. 25 years of life experience did not help me. I knew that they played volleyball. I did know that, but I wasn't sure that I could talk about it. I didn't know much about volleyball. My high school sport was swimming, which I did enjoy, but I will say I did not choose the sport that had the best uniform. Nothing makes an insecure teenage boy feel comfortable like a Speedo. Let me tell you. The worst was actually the pep rally, where all of our guys decided that we should wear our Speedos in front of the whole school. Everybody thought that this was a good idea, and I'm like, guys, this is the nightmare! We've all had it, am I the only one that remembers? Maybe not Steve, the god of abs. I'm sure he's super happy to show everybody, to show himself off, but not the rest of us. Are we taking the nightmare back? Did I enter Bizarro High School? Wait, if this is Bizarro High School, does this mean girls will talk to me? But we were not in Bizarro High School, and there I was in my Speedos in the gym, about to be the before photo in the Speedo parade. Now this is a nightmare for a reason. Because you definitely feel exposed. And as they called my name, I tried to cover myself up. And I realized I didn't have enough arms. And so I struck the most natural pose I could think of, something like... And I thought, maybe I should run. Because it's clear now I'm graduating a virgin. Literally nothing can make this worse. So I did the only thing that I could think of. I focused on a point on the far side of the gym. And I tried to tune out all the noise and all the kids. And I just stared at that point. And I took my first step. And roughly 2 hours later, I reached the far side of the gym. And I thought, thank God, I never have to think about that again. And then I saw that motherfucker from yearbook with the camera. So yeah, so my high school sports experience was a little different than my girlfriend's daughter's, but I went to one of their volleyball games. And afterwards they came up to talk to their mom, and their mom made a at me, and they looked me up and down, and they turned and walked away. And I was like, I didn't have to speak, that was amazing! That was awesome, nailed it! Me not talking is basically always best case scenario. So I thought it was good. I was like, okay, this is great. And a couple months later, I realized I would have another obstacle, because it's Christmas time. And I'm watching my girlfriend make Christmas cookies with my kids, and I come to a realization. You know, I don't think I'm just dating this girl. I think I might be in love with her. Which blew my fucking mind, because not even a year ago I had given up on the idea. So I Google, how do you know you're in love? Because, you know, maybe I was sick. I had caught a case of tuberculosis, and I was delirious. And Google said, Topher, you're not sick. You should tell her. And fuck. Okay, so I think make a conscious decision. You know, there's a day, in a few months, set aside for this kind of shit. I can tell her then, and I'll know for sure by then I don't have tuberculosis. But it was on my mind, and she must have seen that, because she asked me later that night, what you thinking? And I said, nothing, sports. And she looked at me like she didn't believe me. And I felt like that kid in the gym with the Speedos. I was exposed, and I did the only thing that I knew how to do. And I looked her square in the eyes and I said, I love you. And she said, I know. And I said, did you just Han Solo me? You totally Han Solo'd me! Wait a minute, does that make me Princess Leia? Because if you need me to wear that metal bikini, I've got experience modeling swimwear.